Happy Uniform Day to everybody. It's Spirit Day. Happy uniform. This is Rebel.
Hi, Rebel.
He wants to get out of that shirt. Bye, y'all.
Hi.
Hey, first grade. Ready for your art lesson with your friendly neighborhood art teacher? Your expedition this semester has been about the amazing bodies of birds. Your guiding questions: how do birds use their body parts to survive? How can we make the Amana Living Garden more bird friendly? And how can our writing help our community learn about birds? Your learning targets today: I can observe basic shapes in nature to help with my drawing. I can use basic shapes to draw a red-bellied woodpecker, and I can add details to my drawing to make it look more realistic. Today, before we begin, you'll need paper, lined or printing paper is fine, a pencil and eraser, and any kind of coloring supplies, crayons, markers, or colored pencils. Remember, we're going to be working on drawing big. So here's our last bird. We're going to be working on the red-bellied woodpecker. It's a little hard to see from here, but they usually have a streak of red on their tummies too, which is why they're called the red-bellied woodpecker. I'm just going to call it a woodpecker now, because that's a really long title to call it. We're going to be working on this woodpecker today. We're going to be drawing it more like the one on the left, but I wanted you guys to be able to see its very interesting wings, the back. If you look at it, you can see there's a reason for this. Do you think you know what it is? Yes, it's because it needs to camouflage itself, and that helps camouflage against the tree branch and bark. It's got a very long and a very hard beak, and I'll bet you know why that is. And yes, that's so it can break through the tree bark and get to the little bugs and other things that it can eat, which you can actually see it doing in the left picture. The claws, or the little feet of our woodpecker friend, are going to be different than the other ones we've drawn because they need to have them spread out so they can grip onto the trees. So here's the example of what we're going to be drawing today. We're going to be working on the big picture of him, on a tree branch or tree trunk. We are going to get the little side so we can see some of the red belly, and we're going to be working on making those striped wings and down to his tail too. So the first thing we're going to work on is drawing a big, as usual, oval. We're going to add the other oval to the side because that's going to be the wing. We'll add rectangle down here to the bottom because that's going to be the tail. We've got a circle up at the top for the head. I'll make the head a little bit bigger. That's better. And then triangle, long triangle for the beak. And like I said before, their feet are different. We've been doing feet in kind of squares, triangles, so we're going to do this instead. We're going to draw a little rectangle for the leg, and then we're going to draw one little rectangle, two little rectangles, and three little rectangles coming off the end. And then don't forget to draw a line for what's going to be the tree. So I'm going to use my eraser and I'm going to get rid of that one in the middle that I drew. Now, let's start working on getting the details done. So we know that we need to connect the top of the head to the body and the front. So now he's got a neck, and we'll get rid of those shapes in there. So woodpeckers have this different kind of beak. We're going to also add a triangle to that side, and then we're going to erase that line on the middle, and now it's going to look like they have this really long, kind of diamond shaped beak. I'll fix the head coming up. Don't forget they need the eyes. So let's work on those wings like we do in the past. We're going to add that little triangle to the bottom, but then get rid of that. Let's get rid of the inside right here and connect that tail. You can come up. Alright, make some lines darker so you can see them. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of some of these little extra lines I don't need, so they're not confusing to me. And fix that one, and down there, and the part that I accidentally erased. Alright, so we're going to talk about those feet. Those feet are going to be a little strange. Let's take a look at them again. So we already drew one rectangle right here, and then we drew a small rectangle, a smaller rectangle, and another small rectangle. Kind of spreads out like a letter W. And I'm going to come in here and fix this down here. So I know this is just part of his leg. That's easy. I'll make that part dark. I'm going to make the top dark, but then I'm going to make it kind of like a V down here, do the same thing, then kind of a V, and then over here again kind of like a letter V. I'm going to fix that one because I don't like the way it came out so much. And then like letter V, and they've got claws at the end to help them hold on to the trees better. Okay, so woodpeckers themselves, except for those kind of tricky feet, they're not hard to draw. They're very simple shaped birds. It's the wings that get a little crazy. Before I get started, I'm going to pull out the colors that I need. So I'm going to grab brown for the tree branch or trunk. I need red. And then I'm going to grab a gray and black. So first, let's do the easy part. He's got this kind of mohawk of red that goes up and over and down all the way to the wing on top of his head. And then remember, because they're called red-bellied, we're going to give a little bit of red on their tummy. He's got, pretty easy, black eyes. He's got a mostly gray beak. There's a little bit of black on the bottom. Same thing for his feet. They're gray. Yes, you can use a pencil if you want to do gray like that. And I'm going to, just so we can see it easier, I'm going to make his claws black. So, now we're going to start working on the black and white stripes. When we look back at this picture, you're going to see that they don't make even rows, but just for this practice and for this beginning, we're going to make them kind of even rows. So I'm going to need these two crayons, not pencils, And I'm going to start by going across, and I want you to pay attention. I'm not going to draw a straight line. I'm going to draw a little bit of a wobbly line that goes across. And then I'm going to fill that one in. So I started near the top. I didn't start at the top, but near the top. Now, right above it, I'm going to do a little bit of gray. Ta-da! Then I'm going to skip a row. I'm going to leave that part white, and this one, next one is going to be what color? Gray. And then this one is going to be a wobbly line of what? Black. So I'm going to color that one in, and I'll color that one in. And we're starting to get these rows. So next I'm going to leave a white spot. I'm going to start doing a little bit of a, there we go, make it kind of dip down a little bit. I'm going to make that a little, there, now it looks a little bit more even. Then I'm going to do the black one. And I'm going to make that one kind of come down like the big wobbly letter C or U. So then there's black, and then gray. And you're going to keep going down. So the next, I'm going to leave that little white spot. We're going to go down. There's the gray line. Here's the first black line. And there's the second black line. I'm going to come. And then I'm going to go down. I'm going to do this a little bit faster so I can get through the whole bird. And then the very tip of his wing is just going to be black. Doesn't have to have any gray above it. So we've gotten the wings done. The tail's really very much the same way, but they have more dark parts on the tail. So I'm going to go ahead and make the bottom of the tail black, and then I can make a little bit of gray above it. Then what do I leave between those? It's some white. And I'll make a little stripe, and then the gray, and then the black again with that line of white, and some gray, and then I'll just leave this part up here black because that's underneath his body. And then the only thing left to have to work on now is the tree. So don't forget that you're doing the tree, and you can do the sky behind it. You can add some tree branches if you'd really like. And I'm not going to sit here and color the entire bird or branch. Just wanted to show you. Remember, you're getting close together. Do expert to mentor level coloring. Let's get that part handled. And you can find, let's see, yes, regular blue. And I'll start doing behind my bird. And you're going to color in your whole woodpecker, everything with it. So again, here's what the woodpecker looks like. Here's those weird kind of black and white stripe with a little bit of gray in between them wings. That's why we did those little kind of stripes. Your task today is to follow my steps and draw the red-bellied woodpecker. Don't forget to color. Now, if you have time, draw the hole that he's been punching and the nest that the woodpecker's made in that tree. Alright, first grade. I'll see you next time.